So I am Joanna Ossinger. I'm actually a senior reporter for crypto at Bloomberg, and I am thrilled to be co-hosting SABEW's Best in Business Awards celebration. Thank you for being with us this evening. And my employer, Bloomberg News, is also sponsoring the event. We are proud to do so. We love honoring the great work from all corners of the business journalism world. And it will reintroduce the man that you just saw, Best in Business Awards co-chair and co-host Scott Wenger, who is the Chief Content Officer at Volpe Miller.
Thank you so much, Joanna. Like you, so excited for this SABEW ceremony honoring the best in business journalism. It was so gratifying for all of us at SABEW, and for those of us who were judges, it was extra hard work and long hours sorting through all the great content, but we had a record number of entries that we hope to attract even more next year through the categories, the dynamic categories, and just the great work that came in. We had nearly 1,300, so winning an award was no easy feat. And it amounted to world-class and world-changing business and financial journalism. As you are aware, we previously highlighted all of our Best in Business honorees during a virtual ceremony and over Twitter. Tonight we'll be spotlighting this year's General Excellence winners.
And before we begin, we'd like to give our heartfelt thanks to the more than 200 judges who dedicated their time, talent, and wisdom to reviewing and judging the awards. It's time-consuming, but so essential and gratifying and affirming of the state of the profession. So if you served as a judge in this year's contest, please stand now so we can recognize you. Thank you so much.
Okay, now on to the General Excellence winners. We're going to recognize and applaud all of them once we've announced them all, but all of our General Excellence winners demonstrated an exceptional breadth of work, exemplified by one piece from at least 3 of the following categories: a major scoop, coverage of breaking news, explanatory work, investigative content, and visual journalism. In the large category, the award was presented to The Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal's compelling package of business journalism included one of the year's major investigative stories. Facebook knows Instagram is toxic for teen girls, company documents show. The impact of this Facebook Files project has been truly far-reaching. Similarly, the breaking news scoop on stock trading by the Dallas Federal Reserve Bank President Robert Kaplan had immediate national repercussions on the Federal Reserve. The Journal made highly imaginative use of Autobots as part of an outstanding visual explanation of how TikTok's secretive algorithms mold what its millions of users each get to see on screen. The Journal package also included a strongly backgrounded and analytical spot news account of the breakup of General Electric. In a highly competitive category, the Wall Street Journal's range of work and top-notch journalism was best in class in 2021. Congratulations to the Journal.
The General Excellence Medium Division Best in Business Award winner is Nikkei Asia. The judges were impressed by the scope and the depth of the reporting, especially an entry on Apple's supply chain problems that examined each component of the iPhone, the suppliers, and the specific delivery issues. Nikkei found the smaller and cheaper components were the most problematic things. Nikkei Asia also excelled in a report from Vietnam where it found workers sleeping overnight in their factories to continue production during the COVID-19 pandemic. The entry contained memorable graphics, photos, and high-quality storytelling, all displaying excellence in modern business journalism. So congratulations to Nikkei Asia.
Going on to the small division, the award is presented to Crane's Detroit Business. Beyond great storytelling, breaking news, features, news analysis, what struck the judges most about Crane's Detroit Business is its total commitment to tackling difficult issues in an honest way and without concern for the negative light it may cast on its local subjects. Crane's Detroit doesn't shy away from holding those in power accountable. whether it's government officials and plastics manufacturers in a piece titled Great Lakes Pollution, or state-funded preschool programs, a story titled Child Care Conundrum. This kind of reporting is so vital right now as local news is shrinking or disappearing from so many areas of our country.
And the winner of the industry and topic-specific publications competition is The Counter. They offered a compelling body of work that examines the people, policy, and money behind the food we eat and where and how we eat it. A story about the collision between the homeless and Google in the streets and restaurants of a bohemian Venice, California neighborhood was meticulously reported and beautifully written, the judges said. An investigation into prison labor and the food industry, breaking news about a co-founder leaving his company after a research breakthrough, and a beautifully photographed essay on a sustainable family farm rounded out The Counter's work, which set a new bar for excellence in this category. Congratulations to them.
And as I look around, I think I see not just general excellence winners, but many other Best in Business winners. So I'm going to ask you all to stand up if you or your news organization won this year. I thought I saw some. There we go. And congratulations to all of you.
Yes.
We want to recognize not just your hard work, but your exceptional work. We look forward to reading, listening, and watching the entries you'll be submitting from this year's work. So watch for updates later this year on the 2022 competition. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Joanna. And a huge hand to Scott and Joanna. Nobody knows how hard it is to organize the Best in Business Awards. They do it every year. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to judge, but it's a ton more work to do what they do. And we're really grateful to you and grateful for all those who submitted, and congrats to all the winners. If we've learned anything over the past few years, freedom of the press and access to critical data from our governments is critical to the functioning of our democracies. That freedom has been challenged countless times, not just in the past few years, but in every generation. And in every generation, SABEW has stood up for that freedom, defended it, and supported it. SABEW's First Amendment Committee is dedicated to helping protect press freedoms. This committee is vigilant in its role as a watchdog over government agencies, working to ensure that journalists and all citizens have access to accurate, relevant government-supported data. At SABEW, we've been fortunate to have Henry Dubroff as lead our efforts and voice in that fight. Henry is the chairman, editor, and majority owner of the Pacific Coast Business Times, a weekly business journal of record serving Santa Barbara, Ventura, and San Luis Obispo counties in California. Now in its 21st year of publication, the Business Times has won numerous awards, including the Society of Professional Journalists Sigma Delta Chi Award for breaking news, the Best in Business Award for SABEW from us, and several Los Angeles Press Club awards. Henry was the business editor of the Denver Post from 1988 until 1995, and he served as the part of the management team that rescued the Post from bankruptcy in one of the most successful turnarounds of the newspaper industry. He's a past president of SABEW, and he has co-chaired a successful effort to raise $1.1 million for an endowed chair in business journalism at the University of Missouri. Henry is a business journalist through and through. He's an entrepreneur, and he's a staunch defender of the freedom of the press. Every year, SABEW bestows the President's Award to a business journalist who embodies the spirit of what our organization is all about: improving business journalism, paving the way for the next generation of business journalists, and standing up for the values, the ethics, and the principles that are the foundation of our practice. As president of SABEW, it is my distinct honor and privilege to bestow the President's Award this year to Henry Dubroff. Whenever freedom of the press is threatened, Whenever freedom of the press is threatened in any area of journalism, Henry and our distinguished committee is right there crafting statements, social media posts, and acting as our loudspeaker to defend one of the most critical foundations of our democracy. Henry, I couldn't think of a person more deserving. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to let you say a few words. But thank you. I want to do a picture of you. Somebody, please take a picture. Take the mic, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you. This has come as quite a surprise and unexpected. And I'm really appreciative of the fact that the SABEW trolls or bots found my college graduation picture. So I don't have gray hair up there on the screen. I do have to thank some of the members, very patient members of the First Amendment Committee, and particularly our Vice Chairman, J.T. Medor, and also the SABEW staff, Tess and Tobin. They hold my hand and copy edit through this process that sometimes goes on for weeks before we finally put out a statement. The First Amendment Committee got its start under former President Mark Hamrick, and I just joined the committee. I was expecting to rotate off, but Marilyn Giwax, who was our first chair, went to China, and I inherited the job. I've collected a lot of ideas over the years and really count on the committee to operate in a kind of a consensus way. I will address a few remarks to the First Amendment. You know, one of the things about SABEW and the folks here is that our business press contains a lot of very strong and powerful institutions. Dow Jones, New York Times, AP, Bloomberg. But the actual laws underpinning the First Amendment are not nearly as strong. We rely very heavily on a single case from the 1960s called Sullivan versus New York Times. So to protect us in the case a small mistake or a debatable fact does not result in litigation, it creates a sort of a cone of some space for public figures and in some states matters of general public concern as a protection against frivolous litigation. Already, at least one Supreme Court justice has said it's time to revisit that. Perhaps more importantly, a lot of our reporting about public affairs and government oversight is dependent on two cases, one from the 70s, the Pentagon Papers, one from 1931 called Neer versus Minnesota, that provides for there to be no prior restraint on the press in terms of publication. Were a Supreme Court to visit or revisit those precedents, we might be barred, for example, from publishing a leaked Supreme Court case. These are serious issues, and I raise them seriously today. Finally, I would point out that the First Amendment itself is a congressional exemption. Congress shall make no law. It does not preclude a court, a high federal court, from producing its own rules. It does not prevent a president or an executive from putting more limits on the press than anything we experience today. These are challenging times for the First Amendment. I've tried to do my best. Our committee will continue its work. And JT, you got to stay as vice chair because we need your editing, your fine tuning for editing. And also, I really thank Caleb for this. Thank you very much. Oh, I should add thank you to my mom. She's 95 this year and has been an inspiration to me all the way through this. Thank you.
Congratulations, Henry, and thank you so much for sharing your time and talent with SABEW. And congratulations to all of our Best in Business winners today. I am Kathleen Graham, the Executive Director of SABEW. And yay! SABEW lost two inspirational board members, Shoshandra of Bloomberg News and Xana and Sho of Quartz. And we've been very fortunate to be able to keep their spirit, their leadership, and their passion with us through fellowships. The SHO program supports journalists of colors to come here to conferences, to learn, to network, with the ultimate goal of advancing people of color in the profession. And the Xana Fund helps female news managers enhance their leadership skills. Over the past year, we've been meeting on Zoom, which hasn't been great because it's Zoom, but we're here in person, which is awesome, and we've had wonderful meetings together, talking about things like being thrust into newsroom management position with little or no leadership training, how to have difficult conversations, how to manage your career, and what's the best way to highlight yourself to your boss. We are so grateful to our fellows who are here with us today at this conference. And I'd like to thank Lisa Gibbs of the AP and Suzanne Woolley from Bloomberg News for their commitment to making this program fly. And much gratitude to the donors who are in this room and to Xana's family and to her husband, Scott Schell, who created a matching grant. SABEW is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, so please consider making a tax-deductible donation to our fellowship programs, to the First Amendment, to journalism excellence. Let's head downstairs, have some cocktails, thanks to Bloomberg News, enjoy the awesome view, thanks to Meredith Dash and to Caleb Silver, and have a great time. Thanks.